Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of the Type C IV WitLong. I've had this puzzle for about 2 months now and I have to admit I really like it. I think that WitEden did a really good job in designing this puzzle. You can buy this cube from pretty much any cubing store nowadays. I bought mine from Great SKU for about £10, which I think is about $15, so it's pretty reasonably priced for a 3x3. As you would expect, this cube is pretty much the same size as any regular 3x3 that you would get nowadays. Now, like I said, I've had this cube for 2 months and I have played with it quite a lot since I got it, and the stickers have held up pretty nicely. There's no peeling or fading at all. You might have noticed that the stickers are quite rounded, so if you were to play with this cube for like 100 solves or so, then you switch to say a Rubik's brand, the stickers on the Rubik's brand would seem a lot more square because you've been getting used to solving a cube with the rounded stickers. Now, the shading of these cubes are very nice. You might have noticed that the stickers are very bright on this cube, especially the blue and green. If I was to compare the blue and green to a Diane cube, you can see that the blue on the WitLong is a lot brighter and vibrant than this dull blue on the Diane cube. And it's also noticeable on the green as well. The green is a lot brighter than the Diane cube. I wish that the Diane cubes would do that kind of stickering on their puzzles. The WitLong feels considerably lighter than any other 3x3. It's definitely lighter than the Diane cubes. I'm not too sure about the alpha cubes because I don't have that many alphas in my collection, but this cube is definitely lighter than the normal 3x3s that I'm used to. The turning has quite a unique feel to it. This one has been lubed with Lubix and it has a very smooth feeling, yet still feels crisp, a bit like an alpha. So if I was to turn it, I kind of get the impression that it's a mixture of both an Alpha 5 and a Zanchi. You can kind of hear the crispness as I turn it, and it has that very smooth feeling to it, so it is a very nice puzzle. This puzzle does lock up quite a bit. The corner pieces tend to catch on the edges quite a bit, and there are quite a lot of internal lockups on this puzzle. Okay, so into the pieces, we'll start with the edges. As you can see, the edges are quite weirdly shaped. If you took apart this bottom bit, it kind of looks like a normal edge. But as you can see, this part here kind of reminds me of a torpedo. Now this is actually molded into the edge piece, so if I was to take apart the edge, the torpedo part splits with it. And the way that it comes apart kind of reminds me of the Diane cube, so I think that some of the inspiration from these pieces actually came from the Diane cubes. So I'll get more into the edges later. Onto the corners. As you can see, the bases of the corner are quite round and triangular and they're actually quite big. And then the corner stalks actually get larger as they go towards the piece. And they also come apart like the Diane cubes, so they split into 3 pieces. And again, they go together just like the Diane cubes, so I think again the inspiration of the pieces came from the Diane cubes. Now the core is actually quite original. If you look at it, it has just the regular center caps as you would expect, but underneath it you can see that these little plastic pieces that are quite rounded. And what these do is, if I was to say put in an edge, the torpedo part would go underneath the plastic, leaving the other part underneath the center cap. And now if I try to pull out the edge, it's almost impossible for me to get it out without having to twist the piece, and this stops the puzzle from popping very often. Now the corners go in, they just slide in and sit on top of the plastic pieces, and this is what causes some of the lockups, because the corner bases they rub against the plastic pieces and that causes the puzzle to lock up. And because the corner isn't really being supported by anything, it just slides along here, the corners are more likely to pop than the edges. The corner cutting on this puzzle is very impressive. It can easily cut line to line, and it can even go up to 45 degrees. Now obviously it does depend on your tensions, but mine aren't that loose. I'd say it's about medium tensions, and it can still cut really well. Now because the mechanism is put together so well, If you were to go over 45 and try and cut, the cube would just lock up. It wouldn't pop at all. So it is very, very good, and you don't have to worry about your cube popping during solves. Now the reverse cuts are also very impressive. They can easily cut up to half a cubie and sometimes even more. And again, if you do try and go over, the cube won't pop, it will just lock up. So the cube is very, very good if you don't want it to pop and you can handle the lockups. So overall, this is a really great cube, but I wouldn't say it was the best speed cube around because obviously it does lock up a considerable amount during solves. And when I solve using the cube, it does add about 5 seconds onto my times. However, if you can handle the lockups on a cube, it's definitely worth getting. And even if you don't want it for a speed cube, it's still a very good cube for collection. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Type C IV WitLong. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.